May pips be upon you. Hey, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm going to get right into it. This is the Dixie. Yo, it's your boy. No, it's not your boy. It's your grown man. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the Dixie. All right. We're going to talk about this USD. One, you see how price impulsed and had this complex correction upwards, or this ascending channel. All right. We broke that channel beautifully, and caught some nice weakness here that we played against with USD pairs. That was great. All right, but it found its footing here on this 12-hour demand zone, right? And price sprung up. Now, what am I looking for right now? Well, this candle, came by the way of the news and the NFP and the unemployment numbers, and what is it? Clarida talking up so that that resulted in the USD gaining strength. But is this strength temporary? Well, what am I looking for after we made this low? All right, I am looking for the price to make a lower high. All right, if we break this high here, all right, where this D1, this daily supply zone is, then I'm going to start thinking my bias will change. It will change from a bearish bias to a bullish bias. Right now, it's still bearish, all right, because technically we haven't broken any highs, and we just made a low, right? So we are still maintaining bearish momentum. I am looking for price to make a lower high here, and then a lower low, all right, to continue a bearish trend down. Okay, now what hints am I looking at? Like I said, we got a supply here, a supply zone here on the daily level. If we go down to the 4-hour, let me do this as fast as I can. All right, if we go down to the 4-hour level, we're right at the top of the 4-hour supply zone. All right, this is an order block. All right, and we're looking for price to show signs of exhaustion to this impulse up. All right, and once we see that exhaustion, then we'll start looking for the creation of bearish engulfers. All right, we'd have to look, just to take you down there, we'd have to look on the lower time frames. All right, you see how we got this bearish engulfer here? That's the first. These are the first hints, the first indications. If we go down to the 15-minute, you'll see that price created a bearish engulfer on the 15-minute, right? And we are looking for a retest of that bearish engulfer. All right, yeah, we created another one here. Price wicked up to retest that bearish engulfer. If this continues and price respects that 15-minute order block, that bearish order block, then we can start to say, hey, price is probably going to roll over and come on back down. All right, creating the lower high that I'm looking for. All right, so if we see a break of this demand zone, all right, if we see a break of this 15-minute demand zone here, where price ends up on the outside of this, if it violates here, then we can start to say, hey, we got a lower high situation going on, which we can start playing against and with USD pairs, we can start playing against USD weakness as opposed to USD strength. All right, shall we move on? Let's go. Let's go to gold. All right, let me open that back up. Let's go to gold. Next, what do we have here? We're going back to the daily. All right, on gold, kind of like the opposite here. You see that this let me get rid of this. You see this this candle here, another one. God dog it, man. Hold on. Where? I just want that out of here. I want this out of here. All right. All right. Now we have this candle going down, that bearish candle. It's a very strange candle because right when the Fed started talking all that good stuff to bring strength back to the USD, all right, the opposite happened for gold. And we know that gold was just finished making, look at this, an impulse low, all right, and went lower. And then we broke structure to the high side, all right? We gained strength up here, making a higher low, a higher high, excuse me. And then we made a higher low here now, and then we made a near equal high here, all right? But we made a higher low here. We made a higher low relative to this one. So what were we expecting? A higher high, correct? We were on our way to do that until that speech came out, and then gold shot down. All right, is this going to last? Is this temporary? Very interesting question, don't you think? All right, I want you to see something. On the macro level, we are on an uptrend, and price is respecting that trend. Boom, boom, and boom. That's exactly where that Fed candle, right? That's where the monetary policy candle came and touched, right? I'm looking for price to establish this as the lower low relative to these, all right, and then make a lower high. All right, I don't know if price will be breaking these highs in gold. All right, I don't know to play that strength, the gold strength yet, until I see it demonstrated. So I'm looking for signs of exhaustion here, and maybe some bullish engulfers on the lower time frames, and then I'll start to think, hey, we got our low here. Maybe we can get a higher low, all right, as opposed to a lower high. We'll see. All right, because once we break through this trend line, I'm thinking that things are going to stay bearish. All right, right now my bias on gold is bearish. All right, I hope that's pretty clear. All right, but I am hopeful. I guess the word is hopeful. I'm hoping that price will turn back bullish. We'll see. All right, we got to see if it makes lower lows, lower highs, or higher lows here. Okay. Next, we're looking at USD Swiss. We're looking at USD Swiss. This is the only USD pair I'm going to go through today. You see how on the daily it makes this head and shoulders pattern going on here. Got it going on here. Well, it's really more of a Quasimodo. All right, but for the purposes of this, it's a reversal pattern that played out. All right, and once you break structure, look, this was the high, right? So this is the higher low, and this is the zone that we're looking for. If price breaks that zone, we look for a retest of that zone and a continuation of that bearish momentum to create a new bearish trend. All right, we are back to retest that zone right now. So we have to be careful. We have to be patient. We got to let things develop. We want to see what is price going to do in this 8-hour order block. All right, this is supply, and supply. The last time price was here, price shot down pretty well. Okay, so we're looking for signs of exhaustion here, some rejection, some doji candles on the lower time frames, and then we're looking for price to roll on over and create a new lower low. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so I'm looking for this. Right, I'm looking for these lows to get broken and a lower high to be made here. All right, you see this bubble here? This is nothing but missing price, a liquidity gap that was filled all the way down to here. All right, to this wick on this other side. We're about 90%, a little bit, maybe 95% filled. All right, so I'm thinking price is going to come back down here. This is one of the reasons why price moves. All right, liquidity. Here we go. All right, so this is what I'm looking for here. I'm looking, and we're poised to make a move and make a decision either way, whether it breaks these highs. All right, if it breaks these highs, then my bias is going to change. If it breaks through that order block. All right, but if it starts to look like it's going to roll on over, that's when we start to take shorts. Next, we're looking at Euro USD. Got a couple of Euro pairs that I'm looking at. All right, you see the impulse, and you see how price made this complex correction here. All right, an descending wedge pattern. We broke to the top like it's supposed to, beautifully, right? Finding a reason to do so because we hit this daily we call this a daily demand zone. All right, and it worked well. All right, see how many tests it took. Then it works well. So we bear in mind that with a supply zone or a demand zone, once it's tested, it becomes just a little bit weaker. When it's tested multiple times, we're not going to expect, we don't have a reasonable expectation that price will reject price the way it did over here. You understand? All right. So we're in the middle of this daily demand zone, and we're looking for signs of exhaustion. But if price breaks these lows here, if we break these lows, that'll constitute that'll establish a lower low. That's what that'll do. All right. Once we break the lows, then the bias changes and we're bearish. We have bearish momentum. All right. So again, we have to be patient here. All right. If price does find a reason to find bullish, bullish orders here, what do you call them, buying orders, and comes up here, it starts to move up, hey, that's great. All right, so we'll look for a lower high here. Look for a lower high, then a lower low. But I would be thinking bearishness. All right, I don't think it's going to come back up and break these highs. We're very close to breaking these lows here. Very close. We're going to penetrate these lows. I'm pretty sure of it. All right, this is USD, and if USD gains just a little bit of strength, it's going to break these lows. So then I'll be looking for that lower high to take a short here, somewhere around this area, and we'll cross that track when we come to it. I promise you, I'll put out a trade idea for it. All right. All right, because what I would have to look for is a bearish order block somewhere in this area. All right, as long as we stay below these lows, we can come all the way up here. We can come all the way up here and establish the lower high and then the lower low. I hope you understand that. All right, that still maintains the bearish momentum and the bearish trend. Okay, but it all depends on how we do here in this daily demand zone. We make a new low here, then we look for the lower high, then the lower low behind it. Okay. Next, what is this? Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss. Let's go to the daily. I want you to take a macro look at this. All right. You see, we have an established trend line, right? All right. This trend line's got started in May. We broke it to the downside in July. All right. And it is dropping well. All right. We have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. That's pretty clean price action. It's a little slow and choppy a little bit, but it made its way down like it was supposed to. Now, what are we thinking here? All right. We have a daily level of support and resistance. This is a key level. Why? Because you can see how many times it's been interacted with by price as support, as resistance, as support, as resistance, as support. And over here, we just slice right through it. So maybe we come back up to test it as resistance, right? All right, as we continue lower. What are we looking for? Look, price is making a bullish move right now. We're looking forward to establish the lower high because we just established the lower low, right? So we have to find the plot, we got to plot the area where it may turn, okay? And if we look up here, that's not what I wanted to show you. All right, I look for an order block for price to turn around, and up here is one. There is one, a daily order block right here. All right, where price retested and came down. We tested a couple of times, but the fall was pretty precipitous. All right, you like that word, precipitous? All right, as long as price doesn't break these highs, we're still maintaining the bearish momentum. So it could come up to this order block right here. All right, price tested it about 3 times and then came down. All right, but the supply that drop, the supply found here, all right, and the way the price left that level, this is the one I'll be looking at pretty hard. Now, look at this daily level. We're at 101.07918, all right? Price could find that resistance like that we just discussed here, all right? This would be at a 50% Fibonacci retracement level, all right? I am looking for a more meaningful, more deeper retracement level for that lower high, and then the lower low behind it. So I'll be looking in both areas. If we start to see signs of exhaustion here, that's one thing, but I'm looking, I'll be expecting it more here, all right? Next, that's where we can take shorts. That's why I'm pointing that out for you, okay? And if you look on the D1, it says that we're not an extended market, right? It looks like we can come up some before we have a nice big drop. And I'm thinking that's more here than there. All right. Next, pound USD. All right. The pound pairs have something in common. You see this? This from the highs, from the high here, the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right. We made a lower low. The next one is a lower, is a higher high. That's odd. All right. This is a game changer here. All right. Why? Because we break structure, or we're breaking structure to the upside. All right. That changes the bearish momentum to bullish momentum. All right. So what are we looking for now? All right. What is this pattern? Is this a head and shoulders pattern? No, it's not. It's a Quasimodo, but call it whatever you want to. This is a reversal pattern. Okay. And what we want to find is where will it reverse when it makes that next higher low. All right. I'm looking here. Why? Because in this impulse up, there's only one color, one candle that is different color than the rest. And that's usually where the supply is. All right. And if price comes back here, there's a high probability that price will reject right there. All right. Also, something else I do, you don't have to do it, but something else I do, I put Fibonacci's on this sometimes. After a while, you don't need to use the Fibonacci. You can just eyeball it. All right. You put it on here. You're not interested in anything at the 50% in the 50% levels, excuse me. So you look down here at 61, 70, 78. You're looking for that meaningful retracement to establish that higher low, somewhere around the last low before that last lower low. You understand? Come over here. We're right around the 618, right around this order block. You understand? I hope you get that. That's just something you pick up along the way. Okay, but you don't have to do that. Next, GJ has a similar thing going on. Look at this high here. All right, and we go down to this lower low. Why do I skip this? Why do I skip this? Why isn't this a lower high? All right, because it's not a 2-candle pullback. A 2-candle pullback represents a real pullback for me. Okay, so instead of me going lower, 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 high, and all that stuff over there, I go straight to the next, the real lower low, all right, which is a 2-candle pullback, all right? So lower low, lower high, lower low, all right? And then what happens? We make an equal high. Now, when that happens, that is the setup. That's where your antenna goes up. You say, uh-oh, I smell an inverted head and shoulders pattern coming on, all right? And you might be right, all right? After a lower low is made, an equal high, yeah, that's your first hint that it's on the way. All right, and we make this low here. All right, and what am I looking for? That higher low. I'm looking for the higher high, right? So I would have been looking for this this turn if I would have got in on time, but I didn't. All right, so we're looking for price to come back up into this. What is this, a daily order block, this daily supply, and I'm thinking that price will violate this supply, this 8-hour supply and this daily supply, and break these highs and change the momentum to the upside, all right, with a higher high. This isn't a higher high yet. All right. Not yet until we break it. We make the higher high, then we make the higher low. All right. So I'll be looking for price to break these highs, come back, and then off to the races. All right. That's on GJ. We'll see how it goes, but we have to be patient. We have to see what price does here. He's given us a doji so far, but come Sunday, I want to see if price is going to meander here and roll over and come back lower, which I don't think that's the high probability move. I think it breaks through and then does that. Okay, and then we'll be looking for longs from here, but I'm not taking shorts from here, not yet. Nope, not until I see price giving like a bearish engulfer after showing signs of exhaustion. Next, this was the easy one, pound Aussie. Why do I say it's easy? Look, we're looking at the daily, all right, and you can see. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. You can see the trend is up. All right, the trend is up. It's a nice little soft trend, but it's going. All right, and what did we do? We made a high, come back for a higher low relative to these. All right, come back for a higher low. All right, and I'm hoping that we continue up. We break these highs and make a new higher high. If not, we're going to make a lower high here. Now, this is a daily supply. All right, this is supply here, and price is now retesting this supply. So either we're going to go deeper into this, and we're going to see price start to round off and then come down. All right, or we're going to continue this upward bullishness and break this high and continue up. All right, so everything depends on what happens on this retest. And the way you want to look at it, you go down to the 4-hour and you want to see what the price action looks like. All right, you get a clearer picture with more details, more candles, more details, right? You see, this is the higher low. This is the last higher low that led to this higher high. All right, a break of this structure here is a break of structure. A break of that higher low there is a break of structure, right? We broke that. We broke that. We broke this zone. All right, and we're coming back to test this very zone. All right, if price continues up higher and then finds itself coming down, rolling over, this is what we're going to be looking for. All right, this will be the higher low. I mean the lower high, and we're looking for a break of these lows for the lower low after that, right? However, if price does continue up and breaks, let me get this, let me get that, and breaks these highs, we break these highs, then the momentum up is maintained and the trend is maintained to the upside. Okay, but because we broke these lows, I'm looking, and we're testing the same zone, I'm looking for some bearish engulfers and maybe price to continue down lower. That's what I'm looking for. So we have to be patient, let it develop, and get our confirmations right about here. And we can see some more downward action, and we can take shorts. Next. Oh yeah, Aussie USD, Aussie USD. Now I left these fibs on for a reason. All right, I'll bring them back. Don't let me forget. Okay, yell it out. Okay. You see the momentum is down, obviously, on the daily, right? With lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, then we get into this lovely bear flag, and you can see that we are right now challenging that support line of this this bear flag. All right, now let's take a closer look at what's really going on there. All right, what are we expecting? If price breaks the support line of this bear flag, then we know that we have bearish momentum, or we're maintaining the bearish momentum, excuse me, and that the trend is down. And we can take shorts from here. All we have to do is go to the lower time frames to look for the signs that price is going to roll on over. We might even come up here to make a lower high and then come back down and then break these lows to make the lower low. You understand? That's why I have these areas marked out. This is a 4-hour supply. 4-hour supply. You see, once it was formed, it was retested, and price jumped down here. All right. Price could find itself up here again to retest, and we can look for the signs of exhaustion here, make the lower high, and then we look for the lower low. All right. I am bearish on this pair, so I am looking for the breakout. If the breakout doesn't happen here, it'll probably happen after. You understand? All right. I think this one is going to work out. I think this one is going to work out nice. Now, if price continues up, I don't think it's going to go in higher than this the resistance line of this bear flag. Okay, but I don't think it's going to break past here. I doubt it. If it does, we stay ready, because we don't take any trade without confirmation first, right? Next, we're on Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss. Why do I like Aussie Swiss? I'm going to show you why. All right, I left that. I didn't bring back the fib on that other one. You didn't yell it out. You forgot all about it. It's your fault. All right, you see, I got lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and stuff. All right, and we can tell that the trend is down. The momentum is down. All right. Why did we turn up here? Because we hit a 4-hour bullish order block here. We found supply here that brings price up. This is going to establish the what? The lower low or the lower high. Which one? We established the lower lower here. We're looking for the lower high here, man. Are y'all paying attention? Come on, man. All right, so we're looking for the lower high here. And we want the follow through to bring us that lower low. So I'm looking to pinpoint where price could turn. All right, I found a 12-hour supply area, a zone of supply here. So I'm looking for price to maybe come up here, find show signs of exhaustion, and come on down. All right, if you look on the RSI, you look on the stochastics, it looks like, hey man, price could go up a little bit further before we find it in the zone where, you know, we can expect the price to come on down. All right, it could, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. All right, if we go to the 4-hour, what are we going to see? We're going to see a little bit more detail, right? All right, we can see in this area, you see how price came up to this area here and found resistance and then broke through, and then we come back down to the same area and we find resistance again. Look at the rejection wicks. You understand? This area interests me, and we also it also happens to be a 12-hour order block. This is where I'm expecting price to make a turn. All right, and and once it makes that turn, we'll be able to capitalize by taking the short and holding on to it till it breaks those lows. Simple plan, right? All right, all we got to do is wait for the confirmations. That's all we got to do. All right, if price decides, and this is past, this is why I use the fibs, because we're not interested in 50% pullback. We're looking for something deeper and more meaningful. Once it gets past here, we find that that supply area and price reacts to it. We take it down to the next demand zone, the next validated supply zone. I mean, demand zone, excuse me, because price only goes from supply to demand, from demand to supply. That's how it works. Okay. So next, we're going to Aussie yen. With Aussie yen, this is pretty simple. We got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. All right. If we go to the daily, you can see we have all this bearish momentum, right? Price made this low, came up, established the lower high here. But what happened here? We got a higher low. That's off-putting. because we're expecting a lower low to be made. We got a higher low here. Is price getting ready to turn around? We don't know. Price came back up bullishly from this order block, from this demand zone. All right. And this is actually, I think it's a weekly demand zone, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not a weekly. It's probably a 12-hour, somewhere around 12-hour or 8-hour. All right. You can see on the 4-hour anyway, if we go to the 4-hour, you can see prices respected this this demand zone and came back up here. So this is why I want you to pay attention. Look, we got a double top here within this zone of supply. All right. I'm looking, you see these wicks? That's good. That's telling us that there's the high probability that price is probably going to head down. We're probably going to break these lows. So I am looking, it is poised right now to come down. All right. And prices probably retest this order block that is building right here, this bearish order block. And if you can't see it, we made this bearish engulfer with this lovely rejection. All right. There's a higher probability that price will go lower before it goes higher. And that's where you want to take a short. That's where somebody would take a short anyway. And we have to go to the lower time frames to get those shorts, to get a more precise entry. But if you put a entry here for your short and you put your stop loss above structure, you're going to be good to go anyway. All right. And hold on to it to break these lows. All right. Next, Aussie CAD, same situation, right? Look, lower, this is the high, lower low, lower high. These don't, I don't count this at all because this is not a real pullback for me, but because it's not higher, it doesn't break the high and it doesn't break this low. So until it does, we break the low as we keep going down here. And this is the lower low. And then we come back up and make a higher high. Uh-oh, again, we have our antenna up. All right, so what are we looking for? We're looking for price because this looks like a reversal pattern. We're looking for price to hit a demand zone somewhere and make the new higher high. All right, we're going to make a higher low somewhere around this area and go on higher. Why did I pick this area though? Because it's the only odd colored, let me show you, the only odd colored candle. All right, look at the impulse. All right, and we don't want anything in the 50% range. We want to see when you have this leg, we're looking on this leg to see where price could come back down and then reverse. This is the area that I think is most likely because it's created a bullish engulfer. Price left this level very, very aggressively, and it's a demand zone. All right, a bullish order block. So if price comes back down here, I'm looking for signs of exhaustion, and then I'm going to see if price takes off from here. This is where I would take a buy order. All right, I hope that I explained that pretty well because you know it becomes repetitious, and repetition is good if you're learning. All right, next, CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss, my man Swissy. Okay, let me see. Let's go to, we're going to the daily. And what do we see? Let's get rid of that. All right. We can see that price found itself bearish, chopped it up a little bit, making higher lows, and then we broke to the upside. No problem, breaking that structure to the upside. Okay, we're back up into this structure now. We made this high. All right, that's our mark. All right, we come back down, we make the higher low. All right, that's our mark. All right, we didn't break anything here. All right, we still have a lower high here. All right, what does that mean? We come back down, we're breaking lows. These are short-term lows. All right, we make another move to the upside, but we don't break those highs. All right, lower high, lower high, lower high. Look, the highs aren't getting higher. We're not going any higher. All right, so after we break this short-term low here, I'm looking for more lows. the momentum is bearish. All right. And that's exactly what happens when we start making lows and lowers. All right. We break this low. That was a big break of structure there. Structure was broken here. All right. We came back and retested it and continued down with the bearish momentum. And we made another lower high. We have a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You only need two of each before it establishes a downtrend, right? So what are we expecting now on the 4 hour? After making this low, we come back here. We didn't make a lower low. All right. What did we do here? We made a lower low, lower high, a lower. We didn't make. We made a lower low relative to that one, but we're still above this high, this low, and then we break up higher. We have relative equal highs here. Now we are in a D1 area of demand. I mean, supply. If price breaks through here, all right, after making a double, breaking the daily supply here, thinking that there's a possibility of making a double top. All right, but if we break through, then the momentum changes. The momentum changes, making a higher high, and then we would expect higher highs to be made. So we're at a very, very important area, a very important point. So we want to see if price will break through, or will price respect this D1 supply zone and come down. All right, if it does, this will be a great place to take a short from. All right, but if it breaks through, we wait until it gets higher and then establishes a higher low relative to this one. All right, so we'll look for this. That's what we're looking for, and we got to find where is it going to reverse, and where are we going to look? Like I just said, we're going to look in this leg to find a demand zone, possibly here, possibly here. Those are the areas we're going to look, but we want to make sure that we come back at least more than 50%, more than 50%. I don't believe I just did that. More than a 50% retracement. Okay, I'm trying to move fast, y'all, but price has to get past these highs first, or before we even pull this fib. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. All right, I'm hoping that we make a double top in here and we continue down and break these lows and break those lows. If that doesn't happen, then we change the plan. If it breaks above high, if it breaks these highs, then I'm looking for price to establish the new higher high and then the higher low. You understand? I'm looking for that higher low, that point where it's going to turn around, and then I'll take the buy from there if we are reversing. Next, CAD yen. All right, let's go to the daily. I'm not spending too much time on these pairs, right? I'm hoping that I'm going through them at a fast enough pace for you. All right, with CAD yen, you see how price rolled over here after making these highs, breaking those highs. We couldn't get any higher here. All right, we broke this higher low here. All right, came back, retested that zone, made a low, made a lower high, and then broke that low. All right, we broke structure here, so it's just down. We're in a downward. We're in a bearish market. All right, but what happened here? What is strange? We broke this low and then came back up into the structure. Oh no, I don't like it when it does that. You know why? Because then we got caught up in this range here. Price found equilibrium. All right, there is no imbalance here because we're going sideways. And then price started to break to the downside. Uh-oh, let's go to the 4 hours so that we can get more detail. All right, got this low. We got that lower high. Hey, that's a head and shoulders, ain't it? All right, which played out beautifully. Price came on the way down. We got this lower low. All right, price came back up into the structure. All right, we didn't break these highs. Didn't break those highs. All right, but this is a pullback here, a real pullback. So once we broke this high, we broke structure. BOS. All right. When we have a break of structure, that's a sign of strength. All right. In this particular situation. All right. Because we went to the upside. So we broke the structure here. All right. We got a higher low here. All right. Relative to this one, we got a higher low. Great. All right. Then we make a higher high here. We're breaking these highs. All right. We established this high, and then we made a new higher high. Great. All right. Now we're looking for the lower high. All right. The higher low, excuse me. All right. We didn't do that. Look at this. We broke this low. And now we have a lower low. Did the momentum just change from bullish to bearish? Yes, it did. We're going lower. That is just cut and dry. All right. We break that low, we break structure to the low side. That means we have bearish momentum. All right. So now what are we looking for at this point? We're looking for the lower high. Looks like we are establishing that lower high right here. All right. So I would be looking for reason to short. Okay. Now I want to show you something close up. All right. Why did price find a low there? All right. Let me take a look to make the lower high here. Not as obvious on the daily. If we go to the 12-hour, it starts to get a little bit more likely, a little bit more obvious, because this is a bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. All right. We have, when I see a doji in the middle, I'm very hesitant to call this a doggone order block. So I'll go lower to get more detail. Aha! Boom, bam, boom, bam. That's all I needed right there. An 8-hour bearish order block. This is supply. All right. Price came up here, found supply. We are lower than this high. This is the lower high right here. As long as price doesn't exceed this, we're looking here for price to do its thing. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Yeah. Really? Yeah. And then break the low and come on and break this low here to make the lower low below it. Okay, this is the lower high here, and it's establishing that, and we want to make sure it is established by going to the lower time frames and taking a close look and seeing that on those lower time frames that we have bearish order blocks, bearish engulfers that are being respected, and then we can have confirmation to take a short from there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think that was the last one. Yes. All right. This ends my video. I hope you got something out of it. Make sure you take a look at the two videos that are on your screen right now. One of them is the most recent release that I just made that over the weekend. This was Saturday. Was it today? Earlier today? Yeah, it was earlier today. And another one that I would suggest you take a good look at on the left side. All right. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you in the very next video.